Let's make some money this weekend with our best bets for the 2026 Coca-Cola 600. That's right. We're going to break down our best bets for Charlotte Motor Speedway next, right here on the Backroad.
I don't drive a Monte Carlo, and my truck ain't painted black. It ain't got a big white number 3 turning left around the track.
Let's go!
All right, and welcome down the back road in between media's NASCAR betting program. The biggest weekend in motorsports is capped off with the Coke 600. And we'll, of course, get you set from a gambling standpoint. I'm your host, Seth Woolcock, joined by a man officially on Baby Watch. He's our data and projections analyst. He's a known Tyler Reddick truther. He's Chris Collichio. Chris, I know we got a busy night ahead of us, man. We're going to talk Cup right here on the traditional Backroad program. Then we're going to break down Indy 500 in a bonus episode later tonight as well. How are you doing?
Man, I'm pumped. Greatest weekend of the year coming up. We got F1, Monaco. Oh wait, don't have Monaco this year. Actually, do we?
Canadian Grand Prix.
I was about to say, as I was coming out, I was like, wait a second.
Yep.
Indy 500, Coke 600. It's just a great weekend. It's the best weekend of motorsports. I know I just ruined it with the Monaco, but still, it's always been the greatest weekend. It still stays that way, and it's in my hometown. So it's a big week for me as well, because I'm considering taking PTO on Friday because all the fan days around here. So why not?
Hey, there you go. I'm already on PTO Friday, clocked in and ready to clock out here. That's why we went a day early so we could let our podcast editor, Kyle, do his magic on Thursday, because Kyle, myself, Elliott, and a bunch of my friends and family were heading up north here over the weekend. Bachelor party happening. So wedding coming up in just about 2 or 3 weeks. So a lot of stuff happening, but had to make some time for the IBT family, had to make some time for some NASCAR picks. I appreciate you doing it as well with the dad life hat on, signaling good things to come, my friend. And tonight's program does look like this. We're going to go in the rear view. We're going to react to everything we saw at Dover. A good betting weekend for some, not so good for others. We'll talk all about it. We're also going to get into Horizon Forecast, breakdown everything you need to know about Charlotte Motor Speedway, one of the just epicenters of racing really across the globe. And then we'll go parking garage props, our best bets for the Coke 600. A little bit lighter of a week to start for us here, especially on Wednesday, trying to slow play some of these markets. Want to see what we get out of these cars on Saturday, but we'll get everything you need to know still, and any leans and hits we have already. And a quick reminder, too, to please consider subscribing right now to the Backroad sub-channel. That is the new channel, and we are making some adjustments over here at IBT. It's kind of up to something season right now, if you would. And the Backroad, I know it's on the main IBT channel right now. It will be streamed sometime soon exclusively on the Backroad channel. It'll still be collabed back with the IBT channel, but you're going to want to be subscribed over there because we will be making that switch in just a couple short weeks here. So again, subscribe to that new channel. It is the Backroad on YouTube, youtube.com/@the_Backroad. We'd really appreciate it if you can subscribe over there. Also, give this video a thumbs up. Let other people know where you're getting your NASCAR betting information. We'll really appreciate that. And again, over on that sub channel, Indy 500 betting episode. And Chris, you and I were talking before the program. I think we both have a bigger card right now for Indy than we do NASCAR, but that's just the way she goes sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, as excited as I am for the 600, there's just the market. I mean, we'll get to it in the market breakdown, I'm sure, but it's just not great right now. I feel like there's just not a lot out there. Whereas the 8500, man, I feel like I could play so many things on that board, and you got to be careful. So unit management this weekend for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Spread across series. No Truck and O'Reilly series bets for us tonight either, folks, just because, again, Wednesday, not seeing a lot out there. But we will definitely have any cards that we're adding for those series in the IBT Racing family. So you can make sure you go there, in-betweenmedia.com/chat. Check all that out as well. And let's go ahead and get things fired up here within the rear view.
Baby, that's how you do it. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. You are the man. No way! We did it! Yeah!
Well, Dover put on a show for us once again, Chris, and in the Cup Series on Sunday, chaos early format was certainly something to say the least. As someone who enjoys gambling on the Open more than the All-Star race itself, I was trying to be optimistic. I said, hey, it might be cool to see Cody wear it front. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, and like Denny Hamlin, he ends up getting done, claims $1 million. Elliott was on him, I think, at a plus 450 ticket there on the show last week. So good for him. I got down plus 360 on that outright there on Sunday. So that was happy sailing there. And then in O'Reilly, man, Corey Day has the late move to goes on the high side and ends up with his second win of the season. Justin Allgaier not so happy with everyone in the field because of that. And then on Friday, Kyle Busch dominates once again, earns his 69th truck win. So shout out to Rowdy for that. How was the betting card for you, Chris? And what are your overall takeaways from what we saw at Dover?
I guess I'll start with the betting card because it was probably I think my second worst week of the year.
Okay.
I didn't hit a damn thing. And what makes it worse is, I normally take it pretty light for All-Star Weekend. I just got carried away, honestly. Like, I just felt like there was a lot of things out there that like caught my eye, especially in the prop market. And all of a sudden I realized I was in a little bit deeper than I normally would. Still not a normal week allocation, but it's still more than I intended to. And then I didn't hit a thing. So yeah, I was really high on Ty Gibbs and Carson Hocevar, to be completely honest with you, and neither of them had anything to show in that race. So that was kind of a disappointment. And then I guess for my thoughts for the race overall, yeah, I don't know. This format can go, truthfully. Like I came into the league very optimistic, kind of like you. I guess like I was glass half full. Like, I'll just trust the process. Like, let's just see how it plays out. And man, there's something to be said where, first of all, we had it looked like Talladega there at the beginning because we had the big one on lap 2. Took out all your top players: Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, like everyone that you thought was going to be really good, got taken out right at the very beginning. We didn't need that. So yeah, I would rather bring back our traditional Open race, let those guys have at it, earn their way into the main race. And then on top of that, like, I thought the whole like inverted field thing was going to be interesting. Like, I was like deep into numbers on Saturday. Like, okay, this guy qualified here. Maybe if he's like 10th in both, maybe it'll still work out. It didn't matter. Fastest car still got to the front, even in the inverted field. So Denny just got right back out there. So yeah, I don't know. I would just truthfully rather go back to let's just have an Open race. You got to earn your way into the main race.
Yep.
Have a legit fan vote, because I don't know if you heard how that all shook out with the fan vote, but Suarez was actually like the 6th. He was 6th place in the fan vote, but he got in because the first 5 in the fan vote had already qualified for the race.
Right.
That can't happen. Like, it's a fan vote. Like, we want the guy who wins the fan vote to get in based on what the fans actually wanted. So overall, man, I think the whole weekend was a little bit of a bust, to be completely honest.
Yeah, and you feel bad for the people of Delaware, right? Because this is a community that it goes from 2 races to 1 race, and now they got an all-star race, but it was kind of a crappy all-star race, right? They're lucky that at least O'Reilly had a little bit of fireworks there on Saturday, because it was pretty early in this race. I think we all thought Denny Hamlin was going to eventually win this. Like, you did get a little bit Chase Briscoe speed, which, I wanted to go right back to the well with him on a top 10, as I've done probably 5 times this season. And I don't know if I've cashed a dang one of them. You know what I mean? So that was frustrating, but Todd Gilliland kind of blew up the whole race from the start, got put to the middle. And then, as you mentioned, like, some of these drivers, which I understand why you're high on Hocevar, I understand why you're high on Ty Gibbs. They were really good at Bristol, which is one of those tracks we can take from, right? So I completely understand there. And I think this format, like Denny said it best on Actions earlier this week, like, when you can't tell what's the difference between the All-Star race and the All-Star Open, there's a problem, right? And so I'm not about that. So hopefully we can close the door on that. But before we do, wanted to welcome in some of our IBT racing family who's front and center for us tonight. We got Marcus hanging out saying he's predicting Christopher Bell with the Coke 600 win. Maybe some rare Chris Bell love on the program today after we've been fading in the last couple weeks, but we'll see what we feel from that number 20 car. And then Nick checking in as well saying Cup winner for him this weekend between Ross Chastain, William Byron, and Connor Zillich for a long shot. I don't know about the Trackhouse love, Nick. Like, I'll be honest, like, if you're looking at what they've done at Charlotte, I get it. You look at what they've done at the comps this year, not so much. So we can chat a little bit more about that later. Don't hate the William Byron play either. Hunter checking in. What's good, Hunter? Great to see you as always, man. He's got a Briscoe ticket ready to go. And Elliott coming in on his night off as well, saying thanks for filling in, gents, while I'm finishing up the college baseball grind. Bowman over Reddick, calling you out right there on the spot. All of a sudden, Chris, we'll talk about it later in the show, but running up on you in the head-to-head matchup contest right now. You got a 1-stroke lead above Elliott and everyone else within 2. So you're kind of looking like William Byron did at the end of last year's Coke.
Yeah, dude. I mean, a lot of fun though. Like to put that in the chat last week and kind of make a head-to-head out of it, straight up with Elliott. That was really fun. And honestly, that bet was cashing for me all damn day until I had to freaking speak up in the Discord and like try to brag about it. And then all of a sudden, Reddick ends up on pit road. So props to Elliott. You know, we're just making this more fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess my final thought real quick before we move on from the Open or from the All-Star race is I guess to reiterate my point earlier of like I want to just bring it back to what we used to do. I also just think it was way too damn long. Like it was longer than the Xfinity race, which is a Riley race. Sorry. The one thing I loved about the All-Star race when it was here in Charlotte, I could bring 2 or 3 of my friends that are just like very casual NASCAR fans or not even NASCAR fans. Like you can bring a very casual fan to the race, bring a cooler of beer, and it's short enough to where you can actually keep their attention and not bore them to death and have a good time with them. That's what it needs to be. The All-Star race is supposed to be entertaining, fun, and quick.
Yep.
Like it shouldn't be a whole 4-hour event, wherever it was. So that's my last thought. I think it needs to be shortened.
I completely agree. On a day when you have the PGA Championship happening, wow, it was a weird time out there for the guys hitting the sticks as well, and kind of a dicey leaderboard to say the least. But when you're competing with that, and you really kind of got in, like we're in the TikTok generation too, right? Every race doesn't need, and I'm someone who likes longer races, but I don't need my All-Star race long. Like give me 100 laps of an Open. And I remember showing my brother a couple years ago when we were kind of dual screening the PGA Championship and the Open there, and he was kind of enjoying that. You know, I had a big ticket on Ty Gibbs, so we were celebrating there, and then the All-Star race. They've kind of been snoozers lately, if we're being honest. Like I think the Clash has kind of outdone it, but good week for me on the betting card side, at least. Back in the green, 5-3, hit a nice Allgaier top 5 on Saturday at -1 set. I mean, I'm just going to keep drinking the juice on that until it loses, and it hasn't so far. Chris Bell, top 5 in the Truck Series, +125 at Bet Rivers for a unit on Friday. Went with that Denny Hamlin outright, as I alluded to, +360. Thank you to our friends in Pittsburgh for that boost on Sunday, 1 unit. Ryan Blaney over Chris Bell, 3 units. I was also on a Tyler Reddick over Byron matchup, which looked great all day too. Reddick had a little bit of speed there, and that ended up not coming through. But then Denny Hamlin, top 5, -150 for 2 units too. So great weekend for me. Very happy there, but I'm sorry for your loss and anyone else's losses in the chat. Looks like Nick is doubling down on the Ross Chastain pick here. Chamberlain saying actually likes Chase Elliott this week. The top 5 number is still nice on most books. Herps top 35 for Seth. Hey, we hit the Herps top 20. We should have maybe dabbled in the top 10 market that day too. I don't know if I'll go back to Herp's top 10 this year. That was like a one-time only thing, Chris, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's he I mean, to your point, he showed speed early on in the year, but that's quickly trailed off. It seems like Bubba and him are going on a downward slope, whereas Reddick is still staying up on that upward trajectory. So yeah, I think the Herp days are over.
Let's go ahead though. Let's turn the page. Let's get into Horizon Forecast. Let's talk about this track, these races in particular this weekend in Charlotte. And I'm looking forward to this because last year, Chris, I was down in beautiful Punta Cana for my brother's wedding, and apparently no streaming service in the world works there. Like I was a Prime race, so I can't use Prime there apparently in another country. So that was a bummer. So I'm watching like Fred the Flintstone on TikTok, like in his cutoff and overalls, you know, screaming at the TV, and he had the driver cameras on. That's what I was watching the race on. And I was streaming a bootleg copy of it with a nice watermark maybe on the top of it on YouTube before that got shut down. So we were finding ways to get in on the action, but it was certainly difficult last year. And it was like the last day of the vacation. I'm like, I just want to go home. Like kind of sick of the beer here. The food's not great. Everyone's shitting their pants. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want to be in America for this. So happy to be back here at stateside this year in the 250th celebration of the country happening here in just a couple weeks. So let's go ahead and fire it up, though, in the Rise and Forecast. Your entry lists look like this weekend. We got the Cup Series, 39 entries. 66 is going to be Timmy Hill. Corey Heim back in the 67. He's always going to be a fun watch in that equipment. And then Catherine Legg is going to be pulling off the double. Shout out to Catherine Legg, man. That is some like serious stuff she's doing right there. First woman, I have to imagine, to ever complete that, Chris, unless I'm speaking out of pocket there.
No, I think you're correct. Yeah, she would be the first one to do it. I don't know if she's the first one to attempt it or not. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think Danica did, but I don't know. I know she'll be the first one to ever complete it, though, if she does it all. Which, okay. I mean, maybe a slight asterisk here because I don't know if she's going to finish on the lead lap in the 600, so it might not be 1,100 miles, but still, it's still really cool.
I don't know how the race weather is looking down there in Charlotte, but I can tell you Saturday not going to be kind to us up here in Pennsylvania and New York. We were trying to go golfing for my bachelor party on Saturday. I don't know if that's going to happen, so hopefully the weather works out for her there. We got the O'Reilly Series kicking off with 38 entries this weekend. Cole Custer in the 0 once again. Connor Zilich back to the 1. Ross Chastain in the 9. That means Carson Quapple will serve his time in the 91. In the Truck Series, 38 entries here. Brandon Jones will be back in the 1. Ricky Stenhouse taking another spin in that number 4 truck. We have Travis Pastrana, who's going to be back under center as well in the 25 truck. Ross Chastain in the 45 for Nice. SVG going to be out there in the 71, and Connor Zilich in the 77. And then, as we mentioned, we'll be having Catherine Legg complete the double this weekend. Ross Chastain and Connor Zilich running all 3 series. So a lot of weekend warriors out there, hopefully including ourselves. In the schedule breakdown, we're going to have a rainy weekend anticipated. So this likely will be changing. Chris, do you have any updates on the weather from your end? I don't know. What do you guys use down there? Like, we have like AccuWeather, which is like right out of State College. So that's like kind of like our big one in this area. Do you have like a particular weather program of choice down there in the Charlotte area?
Not really. I mean, I just the local news stations really. We don't have like a specialized, not that I know of at least.
Oh, okay. But, okay.
But yeah, it's not looking great, to be honest with you. There's a 100% chance of rain on Saturday, 90% chance of rain on Sunday, 85% chance on Monday. So like it could be a really long weekend if we don't get it in. So yeah, I don't know. It's also been hella hot down here. So I imagine like hopefully that rain is just like evening thunderstorms. Maybe it's just like the humidity coming in. I don't know. It's been the weather's been really strange down here. So
yeah,
but this is another reason why I never go to the 600 because it's always rained out or it's always postponed. So that's why I want the All-Star race back because that was my race to go to.
Oh, we can keep hoping and dreaming, and we'll do that, doing our rain dance this weekend for sure. Friday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Truck practice and qualifying. We're going to go green at 7:52 on FS1. The North Carolina Education Lottery 200, 30, 30, and 74 are those stage breaks. Then Saturday, we got an early morning, 11 a.m. O'Reilly practice and qualifying. 1:30 p.m. Eastern is going to be the Cup practice and qualifying. We're going to go green at 5:05 on the CW channel for the Charbroil. Is that right? 300. Is that something I should know about? Is that something in your area too? Chris, Charbroil. I've never heard of that. Is that a grill? Is that what? I don't know what that is.
I don't know if I know that terminology either. I mean, it's charbroil, I guess, but yeah.
Okay. It's charbroil. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess I'm just reading that wrong. Okay. I was thinking it was like a Charlotte thing when I see like Charlotte in front of it. So
I guess grill, right? Isn't it just a grill brand?
I think it is. Yes, I think it. Yeah, I think it actually is my grill brand that I own currently. So, but laps there 45, 110 Sunday. Then we're gonna go green. Thank God Prime is back. 629. We're gonna go green there for the Coke 600. 4 stages of 100 laps. Only race with 4 stages this season. So again, if you're in any like season-long fantasy lineups, anything that counts stage points, just kind of keep that in the back of your mind as well. And apparently you can, Elliott's telling us, you can sign up for 30 days of a free trial on Prime to watch their 5 races if you don't already have it. So that's pretty cool. I appreciate Prime doing that. I don't know about you, Chris. I definitely have Prime and I use it frequently with, you have a baby, you're gonna have another baby on the way. With being a new homeowner, Prime might be the clutchest thing out there right now, honestly.
Oh yeah. I've had Prime for probably the last 5 years of my life. It's just, truthfully, Elliott, I think, is speaking to the boomers here because the boomers don't have Prime, and they're the ones who are going to be up a roar when they can't get Prime on their ears of their TV. So, yeah, that's who we're really talking to
if
here.
there's one like subscription service that's actually worth it, I think it is Prime, because I don't use the Amazon Music, but you also get Amazon Music. You get some different rewards for all the other streaming stuff you can do and some of like the upgrades you can do, and then like also you get the shipping and all the deals there on actual Amazon. So the boomers, come with us, and we love you, boomers. We love you on this program. Don't you worry about it. Let's go ahead though. Let's get to breaking down this track a little bit more. Charlotte Motor Speedway, of course, it's a 1.5 mile intermediate track. Chris, when you were grading the comps here, you have a different take on the primary and the secondary comps, and I think most people do. So I'd love to hear what you factored into this week's projections and what tracks you factored in maybe a little bit more than others.
Yeah, so I used Kansas and Texas as my primary tracks, and then I have Vegas and Michigan as my secondary. The reason for the secondary tracks, I'll start with those. Michigan, I just feel like it just races different. It's more high speed, less off throttle time, bigger track, obviously. Vegas is high tire wear now. Like it's no longer like a mid tire wear track. It's definitely a high tire wear. Whereas Charlotte, Texas, and Kansas are all still in that low to mid tier. And they all have that like more D-shaped traditional oval to it. So to me, that was the most important. Not to mention, we also have 2026 data on Kansas and Texas as well, recent data as well. So that's really just the thought process there. Speeds are typically around the same. If you look at like pole speed and average speed in the last few years, they're all pretty much in the same range. So that was kind of my justification of using those. And it's always nice to have the 2026 data to kind of boost that up as well.
Well, and that's the big thing for me is like, I really am not weighing Michigan because we don't have fresh data. Homestead can be a comp too. So some people throw out there, but it's been a while since we've been at Homestead, and then Chicagoland too, right? Like that's another one. But we haven't been there in quite some time. So definitely some interesting stuff there. Again, you can find all the model, all the projections, everything Chris does right there in-betweenmedia.com/chat. IBT Racing Family. You can upgrade to the model tier for $3.99 per month. And let's go ahead and get into some trends as well, where pretty interesting stuff here. I thought overall this week, this is going to be our 5th next gen race here. So smaller sample size than a lot of these other 1.5 mile tracks that we go to twice a year. Like, thank God, like this is not going to be a forever thing where we don't have 2 races at Charlotte, because like this has really turned into one of the best races of the season. Part of it's the length, right? The stages make this fun. But the next gen winners, Hamlin, Blaney, Bell, and Chastain. Ross did start P40 and won last year, which previous 3 all started top 8, including Denny on the pole. So Saturday usually going to be a little more important. Like strategy definitely helped some guys like Brad K last year, but Ross was one of those guys who just had speed. He found it late in the race and was able to pass William Byron there. And looking at the next gen pole winners in particularly as well, Chase Briscoe, Ty Gibbs, also Byron by the metric, and then Hamlin, all of those finished top 6. So if you can hit a pole bet, or if you can just have a ticket on someone who is on the pole going into Sunday for a top 5, might be a good idea to consider. Average starting position for the leaders in Charlotte here: Byron 5.3, Gibbs 9, 9.9 for Bell, Reddick 10.9, and Elliott and Hamlin tied at 11.3. The pole wins 15. The pole is winning 15% of the time at Charlotte. The front row 28%, top 5 55%, top 10 74%. So only 8.66% of races, 11 races have been won from outside the top 20. And your active race winners here: Brad K, as we mentioned him, 2-time winner; Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, and Logano. So your usual suspects there. And we actually have had 6 overtime races, including 2022's longest race by mileage in history, and 6 shortened due to weather, including 2024, as you mentioned as well there, Chris. And at least 7 cautions in every next-gen race, including 18 in 2022, 16 in 2023, race record 22 in 2005 as well. So, something there's going to be like a super speedway. And maybe, again, Chris, why you and I are going a little lighter here is there's going to be some attrition in this race, right? And whether it's equipment not holding up for all 600 miles or it's someone getting caught up in someone else's mistake, that is something I do like to be a little bit lighter. I feel like we ultimately see less chaos sometimes in this race than we do the Indy 500, which feels a little bit weird as a gambler.
Yeah, no, for sure. I also want to say I am not a fan of the 4 stages. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I hate it, to be completely honest with you. I don't understand why we do that. Why not just make the last stage 200 laps? Like, it's an attrition race as it is. It's supposed to be an endurance race. Why are we adding an extra stage? Like, make it.
You know why? Because they need one more stage break. They need to fit in commercials, and they also need to jumble us all back up one more time so we all like have our hearts drop as bettors.
Okay, you're not wrong, but now I'm hoping with Steve O'Donnell we have some good changes because he seems to be like really embracing this like hell yeah like mentality, like it's for the fans, for the drivers. I hope that changes. That's gonna be like my next like Christmas wish for NASCAR for next year because I'm a fan of like seeing how things play out, watching the long run, who's got the speed of the long run, watching green flag pit stops, seeing who kind of tries to jump the field with the first one down pit road. So like that's interesting to me. I would much rather have that than to stack everybody back up. So that was my tangent there. But
no, I like that. I like that.
Also worth mentioning, Elliott had a good note there with Byron winning the pole via the metric. I think that could be in play this weekend with the rain in the forecast. I think we could have another metric winner. Just so you know, the guy who'll be winning the metric this weekend, Tyler Reddick.
Okay, all right, Tyler Reddick. I mean, with his like lead in the points right now, like and how he's running, like I feel like he's always almost the favorite to be the metric winner, right? With how far he is ahead of the points, and then also like he doesn't have a lot of bad races to really push him down either. So.
Yeah, and I forget exactly what the metric is, but it's like 65% based on the points for the year, and then 35% on your finish from the previous week. And he hasn't really, so unless he had like a super dud week, then he's pretty much going to be probably top 5 every week or qualifying in the last 5, right? Like to be top 5 in the metric. So, yeah.
We have had 10 first-time winners here at Charlotte, but it's been a while. It's been a long time. Yeah. Austin Dillon, the last one. David Rudiman, Casey Mears, old Casey Mears, dude. Jamie McMurray, Matt Kenseth, Bobby Labonte, and, of course, the man, Jeff Gordon himself. And, Chris, looking at the projections in the model you put together this week here, Reddick sits at the top here, 94%. And then you have Hamlin, Byron, and Bell, all with A grades. And then 7 total cracking the 70% mark. So any big takeaways from how the projections ended out this week?
Not necessarily. I guess some shocks to me. Maybe we're like Kyle Busch almost cracking the top 10. That's kind of crazy. We've seen some increased speed from them recently. So
yeah,
for a guy that's always been really solid at Charlotte, kind of interesting. Kyle Busch kind of right there. Blaney's a little bit lower than I expected.
Larson, eighth.
Larson, yeah, you're right. Larson is lower. His finishes though are bad here. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a little more shocked that we didn't have more guys up in the A. I kind of thought that we get a little bit more jump from those kind of elite here. To see like a 5% gap at the top was a little shocking. I thought that would be a little bit closer.
Yeah, I thought Denny would be up closer, and then just William Byron based on kind of what he's done here recently and also on the comp tracks. Like, doesn't have the best average finish because he has that like 132nd place finish, but aside from that, it's like second, third, second, right? So he's and it's hard with him too because like we've started to factor in momentum rating where like, he just hasn't been that fast lately. I mean, we saw a little more speed out of him last week than I think we have in a second, and like that's the same thing with like Christopher Bell too. Like, imagine where he could have maybe rated out based on his Charlotte and comp data if it wasn't for his momentum average finish. Like, he's like 11th to last, man. Like, this guy's been god awful, like bottom 10 pretty much there. So interesting stuff there, and also interesting stuff over at ifantasyrace.com where they have their asterisk mark driver of the week. Denny Hamlin, last year in the Coke 600, Hamlin was a second place car, but finished with an asterisk mark 16th. So in that race, Hamlin finished stage 2 in second, same thing in stage 3, and then was running second on lap 371 before coming in for gas due to a fueling issue during his green flag pit stop in that stage. In that race, Hamlin ranked second in total speed rankings from ifantasyrace.com, led 53 laps, and earned the 3rd best driver rating. So, Chris, Denny Hamlin, someone that you and I don't have on our card, but someone we almost have, I feel like every single weekend. I just usually almost slow play Denny with especially the outright odds he's going out at right now, which are justified, I guess.
Yeah. I'm always like a wait and see on Denny because you can normally tell
He
from
tells
practice
you.
if
He
Denny,
tells you what the
yes.
car is. Yes.
Yeah, he'll tell you too. Yeah, you're right. And like, but you can also just even from looking at numbers, if he is like average to good, then you know his car is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's bad, he's going to be bad. Like there's no like you're never going to see him be bad in practice and then be elite in the race. So you can pretty much gauge Denny Hamlin pretty well. In practice, he's not going to like do anything crazy or hide anything or be running crazy lines. Like he's just going out there and trying to see what he has. So yeah, I don't know. Denny, I always kind of wait and see on him. That you're almost never guaranteed to get a good number on him that way, but it just kind of is what it is. I mean, but yeah, I mean, he's solid everywhere right now. I mean, I know we say it every year, but he's got to be the championship favorite right now because he's just where is he weak at? I mean, other than road courses, I guess.
Yeah, it's like him or Reddick, right? And he's gonna have to catch up to Reddick, and Reddick might get that bump from having that gap when the chase starts, right? And then Denny is gonna have to catch him, but he's been so dang consistent, man. And the thing you have to like about him, particularly coming here, is like where has this guy not been fast at these mile and a halves really this year, right? So I think he's someone you have to keep on your radar. He's running at all-time hot right now, and like while you're seeing other championship favorites like Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson struggle, Denny Hamlin is anything but it. And I think with the offseason he had, we all need to like really commend him on what he's doing out there, especially like this dude's like properly jacked and he's like how old now, man? Like he's still in it. He's still talking shit. He loves it. So Denny Hamlin, man, excited to see what he can do out there, and someone I'll certainly try to get invested with. It just might be a Sunday thing for me because again, I just love how he talks to the media. I love how his car performs on Saturday. We can learn a lot. And if I have to take a dollar loss, like last week, I thought about going at plus 450 on the outright before our Wednesday night show. And I said, I'm just going to slow play this one. I got plus 360. Like that's fine. I'll take the 90-cent loss on it. It is what it is. But let's go ahead though and move forward here and lay some more bets down in the parking garage props. All right, we're getting some gainers down for the Coca-Cola 600. And Chris, I want to start by talking about the impressions of the sportsbooks here. For me, I just can't go with some of these outright prices, man. Like they're crazy. Like Kyle Larson's been running like absolute shit. 8-1 for him for a guy who doesn't have really like great finish. He's had some speed here and there at Charlotte, but nothing crazy. And then like same thing, like William Byron 9-1. I know his track record here at Charlotte is great, so maybe that's justified. And like same with Christopher Bell, but they both haven't been running strong at 9-1. I think maybe there's some value down the board, but for me, it was really hard to get invested with a lot of these numbers. What about you?
Same. I mean, we're in the same boat here. I was trying to pull it up real quick, but I think when the lines opened, I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys under 10-1. That's just criminal.
That's not fair.
For starters, that's criminal. And then when you look at top 10 numbers, like I tend to always use Bet365 because they tend to always have the best top 10 numbers. We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys at minus money. Again, criminal. Like, give us something to play here. And it's like a big jump too from like minus 125 to plus 125. Like there's no like guy sitting like right at the even mark. So yeah, it was hard to find anything that I really liked. And being this is kind of like a dog eat dog race, right? Like where we're going to see the cream rise to the top. Like I understand why the books did it, but it's just it just sucks from a pre-race standpoint because we're just all going to be sitting here waiting until practice and qualifying, and we might not even get practice and qualifying. So we're going to be in the same boat on Sunday. So it's going to be hard to get some good plays down this week, I feel like.
Yeah, hopefully we see some more boosts from the books potentially, like just on motorsports as a genre as a whole on Sunday, because they know this is kind of like the thing going on right now. I know you got the Stanley Cup going on right now, and in the NHL playoffs, of course, the NBA playoff championship round 2. But like right now, like this is a big day for motorsports. So hopefully FanDuel, let's get some boosts. Let's get some boosts out there. Bet Rivers gives them out like candy, and so does BetMGM right now. So like that's been good at least. But yeah, it's been tough. And like even matchups this week, I was finding matchups on the guys I want to bet, but not against the other drivers I want to fade. Like the only one I was really like, oh, maybe I'd consider it is there's a Hamlin over Larson, right? Just because like that's something I've considered the last few weeks and I haven't bet it and I've kind of regretted it, but it's a steep number. You're paying like minus 165 on it. So really drinking a lot of juice. We'll see what Saturday brings. But Chris, let's start in the outrights where no shocker, you're firing up your man Red Dog right here off the rip.
Yeah, I mean, I already kind of alluded to it a few times, but I mean, the fact that if we don't even get practice and qualifying, and we do use the metric, look who's on the pole, Tyler Reddick, the hottest driver of the season. Not to mention, man, he is a guy that I don't even know if it's sneaky anymore. I used to say that he was sneaky good at Charlotte, but now he's just good at Charlotte. Like I think I don't think it's not a secret anymore. It's incredible his runs here. Outside of last year, 4th, 5th, and 6th place finishes the 3 years before that. When you look even just like at this year, the comp tracks, you're looking at a 4th at Texas. He won at Kansas and a 13th at Vegas. A little bit but again, that's not one of my primary comps. So I'm looking at Texas and Kansas 1st and 4th there. I mean, all across the board. I mean, when every metric that I'm pulling in, he is top 5 in literally every single category other than one. So it's incredible how good he is here. It's something to be said too with this track, and I don't know if you have the new NASCAR game for console, but driving Charlotte is a different beast. Like coming off 3 and 4, there's like that tunnel turn, and you kind of have to take it high and then come in low when you get to the front stretch there. Tyler, he just runs like a really crazy line here, and he's really good at finding the clean air and just taking off. Not to mention, I mean, it's in our backyard, right? So 2311's shop is not very far from here. I imagine Jordan's going to be here anytime Jordan's in play. Yeah, Reddick, Reddick's going to have his shit. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of shocked to see the 7-1, to be honest with you, when he ranked as high as he did for me, and then I went to the books and saw 7. I was like, well, that's my first play. I can't shy away from that. So yeah, a guy that I kind of had in the back of my mind even before I put the model together, and it all kind of played out to where that's where I want to start my card.
Yeah, I was surprised to open it up this week, Chris, and to see Tyler Reddick at the top of it, but it's one of those delightful surprises, right? Because Tyler Reddick, like I want to bet a driver with momentum. I want to bet a driver who's not only good on comps, but also at this track. And like he kind of checks all those boxes really across the board for me this week. My biggest thing has been finding like, how do I get invested with him? Because some of those Charlotte finishes like aren't top 5s. And that's kind of like the way you have to go right now. Like best price you're getting on top 5 is even money. I thought, oh, maybe I'll find something out there for like a top 10. Like even if it's like minus 180, I would probably drink it. And, you know, best we're getting right now on him, which again, rightfully so, I guess, is like minus 280, right? It's like not even the same ballpark. So, and even matchups, like he's paired up against guys I really don't want to bet him against, or he's like minus 145 as the favorite in them. So really hard to find an avenue for Tyler Reddick on the card, but he's like Denny, another guy. Every Sunday, I'm looking, how do I find a way to get invested with Tyler Reddick? And Chris, a guy that I've been very happy to be invested with so far this season is my first 2 plays of the night. Chase Elliott on the outright, 12-1 at FanDuel, which this has moved, folks. It's actually 13-1. So apparently I somehow moved the line in the other direction. And then top 10, minus 140. That says DraftKings. That's Caesars. Apologies on that, folks. But 0.8 unit down on the outright for me and 2.5 units down on that top 10. I think for a top 10 price, and we talked about how juicy of glasses you're going to have to drink 4 top 10s this week. But for Chase Elliott, 4th in our projections, and to get him at minus 140, that feels really fair for me, especially when he's, you know, across the board, not at those numbers. A lot of books are kind of like reading what we're seeing. I saw at Kalshi, he's closer to minus 190, FanDuel minus 220. So not much value out there. It really, except for Caesars, the only place I think I would bet it. But finished P6 last year, scored stage points in every stage, despite starting P22. So you love to see that speed, even though, I mean, last year Chase was just atrocious off the truck, right? He's kind of corrected that woe some this year. And then you look at what he's done at the comps this year. 1 at Texas, P8 at Kansas, P2 at Vegas. That's a guy I want to hitch my wagon to here, specifically because he's had 2 straight top 10s at Charlotte as well. He did wreck the 2 years prior in the early next-gen races at Charlotte. And that really like tainted his advanced metrics. So if you're an average running position guy, a driver rating guy for the next gen era, he's not going to be up there in those metrics, which I think he could be even higher in the projections if not. So for a guy, though, 3rd in momentum, average finish the last 6 out, and then also 5th in driver rating that span. He's just someone I want to have on my card. And I just think it's a really fair price, man, for like a guy who has cash top 10s in 5 of 7 races, average finish of 10.2. Like, let's take out Hamlin and Reddick. Has there been anyone better over the last, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks than Chase Elliott? I don't really think so. So I want him on my card here, Chris.
Yeah, and I actually was just looking at that. I have the answer to that question for you. At the comp tracks this year, the Vegas, Kansas, Texas, he's actually second, right behind Denny. So
yeah,
and ahead of Reddick. So yeah, I mean, Chase he's been solid pretty much all the way around this year. It feels like pretty much every track he's been solid at, but the intermediates have been a strength for sure. So yeah, and Charles, yeah, he's had some weird luck. Like, it feels like the first 2 years of next gen era, not great finishes, but he's turning around to a 6th and 7th the last 2 years. So I mean, hey, he's turning a little bit better every year. So this is definitely a good spot. The 12-1 number is really intriguing. I'll say that for sure.
Yeah, it just feels fair compared to like the rest of the board, right? Like, I was expecting to get him closer to 10-1. We're seeing out there that he opened closer at some books at like 7-1, and they kind of like corrected themselves and put him back out. But I think they overcorrected at some of these books. So love to see that. Don't love to see this from Chamberlain here saying Chase would start 16th with the metric. That yeah, I guess that would. But I mean, he started 22nd last year and still had a good fight. And I think this race is long enough. While it will help to be up front and have that clean air from the get-go, I think Chase Elliott's a guy who we know they're not afraid to pull out some strategy magic out of the hat too. So yeah, Chase Elliott, I'm all in on him this week. I'm going to be playing him in fantasy. I'm going to be playing him DFS, and he's going to be on the betting card front and center for me. Chris, you are going down a road that I know some of our fans out there in the IBT family will be very happy with. I myself, not so much. So I'm going to need you to talk me into this one.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna be intrigued by this one. Listen, Christopher Bell has had probably the worst luck in the Cup Series this year of all the drivers. It feels like. I mean, it's just been week after week after week something happens. But the thing is, if you really look at it, he's had speed. He is very, very fast. Just has had unfortunate stuff happen to him. Then you add in his Charlotte track record, and it's damn near close to as good as Reddick. The only thing bringing him down in the model is honestly the comp tracks. If you take all the stats for just Charlotte itself, he actually ranks second in the model if we're looking at just Charlotte.
Okay, interesting.
If you look at loop data from the last 3 years, he is numero uno. If you look at driver rating, second. Top 10 finish percentage, third. I mean, it's incredible how good he is. Driver rating, second. I mean, it's all right there. Like, it's in the cards for him. I think he's a guy who tends to really be good, really strong in the long run, which again, I wish we didn't have that split third stage because that would help. But a guy that I trust in the long run, a guy that I trust over a really, really long race. He also has in a race where we're going to have a lot of pit stops. He has the number 1 pit crew on in the stable right now. So he's got that going for him as well. I think in the metric, he's probably around Chase. He's probably 12th, 13th, 14th, where he would start if it gets rained out. But again, I don't really know how much that matters in the race that's this long. But yeah, Christopher Bell, man, I just think the luck has to change at some point. The speed has been there. There's no question about it. We just need him to actually get to the finish line. And I think if he does, he's going to be like a top 3 contender without a doubt.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout out, I think, here, specifically because like I was looking at those comp finishes, terrible, right? Like outside the top 15 this season, but you look at the comp total speed rankings, he's top 4. You look at the comp driver rating, he's top 4, right? Like, so he has had speed to your what you're alluding to there. So I don't hate that. I think it's just like, can he pull himself out of a funk, and is a 600 lap race the one to do it, or like do pianos keep on falling on you, right? So that's gonna be the question here with Christopher Bell. But I'll tell you what, if I'm gonna bet him, I think it's on the outright, right? Because like I don't want to invest like high unit share. I think in him it is kind of the issue. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable with a placement prop or really a head to head. So I think if I were going to get invested with C Bell in that 20 car, I think it would be here in the outright market. I'm going to go to maybe my favorite bet of the weekend, one of my favorite, I think, of the season, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's going to hit, but I think it's a great number here. Every once in a while, folks, you can catch these prediction markets sleeping badly. Like, we had that 30-1 earlier this season on William Byron. I think he finished 30th in that race. So that didn't help, but it was a race where everyone else had him at 12-1. I got an AJ Allmendinger top 10 here at plus 772, plus 1772. So over 17-1, almost 18-1. On Kalshi. And we were talking about earlier, I let everyone know I try not to nuke this because with peer-to-peer platforms like this, you can move lines very quickly. So I tried to only put about 0.6 of a unit down, leave it out there. I think Elliott got down at like a 14-1, and then it quickly got bet down to a 4-1 after he did that. And like, we're not putting super, I don't think our units are as high as maybe everyone else is out there. So it's not like we totally nuked this market. But for a guy who's going out closer to 6-1 at most books, 8-1, I love like pretty much doubling the price here for free. And he's 17th in our projections, but that's not because of the performance at Charlotte, Chris. I mean, we're looking at a guy, best next-gen average finish, only 2 races, but that does include a 14th place finish and a P4 last year. And in that race, man, like started 4th, and his finishes in all 3 stages were 5th, 6th, and 6th. So he was up there all race long, man. He put together a very complete race, and he hasn't been good at comps this season. And like, that's kind of what you're looking past, right? Like, kind of dog water at the comps, but 7th in next gen average running position at Charlotte, 6th in driver rating at Charlotte. So again, like you're throwing out the comps, but at 17-1 for a top 10, a bet that if I hit this, it makes my whole weekend. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't poke holes in it at 17-1 for sure. Like, I mean, that's just a great play. Now at 4-1, I think I probably hold off, right? Because
yeah,
at the end of the day, he drives for a team that doesn't get any sim time with Chevy right now because of the whole Dodge, Ram deal. A guy that, I mean, yes, he's been around for a long time. He's kind of like their guy in that stable, but I think he's kind of 1 foot out, to be completely honest with you. I don't think he really is that invested in sticking around the Cup Series for that long. I actually have a funny story about AJ. When he won the Roval, I think that was 2 years ago, right? I think he won the Roval 2 years ago. That next week, I actually went out with my buddy Ian to go play at a golf course nearby in town. And Ian sends me a text, and he's like, "Hey, there's someone here that when you get here, that I would never expect would be here." And sure enough, it's AJ just on the driving range, like 2 days after he won the Roval. And so I get to chat with him for a second. I'm like, "What's the deal? Like, what's going on over there at Colic?" And he's like, "Man, they pay me the same no matter if I run Xfinity or if I run Cup. So he's like, if it's up to me, I would run Xfinity and just win every race rather than finish 20th in Cup Series." So to me, it's like, wow. I don't know that he really loves the Cup Series. I think Xfinity is where he's destined to be. I think the more they roll out this Ram program, I think he's destined to be one of those guys who just moves down and lets somebody else come up. So I don't know. AJ's a guy just like I love him as a person, but as a driver, sometimes he's hard to get behind when we're not at a road course. Yeah,
and I will honestly echo that. Like, we've talked to AJ a few times when we've been up at Pocono and Dover covering the races, and he's someone he's hard to talk to. And I don't know if he's always been like that, but like it definitely feels like he does have less excitement sometimes, like this last year, as opposed to when we talked to him the year prior when he was back in O'Reilly Series, then Xfinity Series. So yeah, I can understand that. And like, this is also a program, not good equipment, right? And that's like, this is that's the thing. I could see AJ running top 10 all day, and then we get to 50 to go and he blows up, right? Like that's kind of the situation here. Kind of reminds me of what Spire was working with a couple years ago. And even like last year, Carson Hocevar has a great race and has top 10 speed for a lot of the day and then blows up. So that is kind of what you're doing here. It's just 0.6 of a unit, but 17-1. And I would even take the shot at 8-1, honestly. Like, that was kind of the number. I wouldn't be as aggressive. I think I would honestly lower that unit share just a little bit. I want to get quite the payout, but AJ Allmendinger back on the card for me this weekend. And then final pick for the Cup Series, Brad Keselowski, top 10 plus 145, 0.8 of a unit. So a little under a unit for me. This is really like, what have you done for me at Charlotte lately? And what have you done for me at the comp tracks? We already know this guy has a couple Charlotte wins in his bag over the history of his career. And P6 at Kansas earlier this year, P13 at Texas, and then P10 at Las Vegas. So been good at those comp tracks. And you look at what he did last year in the Coke 600, man, like, it wasn't a great race for him. Like, he definitely used some strategy to get him up there, but he did end up finishing 5th. He had the speed late in the run to hang on there. 7th in next gen loop data at Charlotte after that race last year. And then P5 finished that last year too. So, you know, he's a guy, like, I don't think he's going to go out there and be competitive for the win, but I think Brad Keselowski, like, really, like, Buescher was a guy pretty high in our projections this week too, Chris. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if all of our RFK, like, this is kind of their race, right? Like, it's gritty, it's long. It's one they kind of just like beat you to death over a long period of time. So if Brad Keselowski's leg can hold up, if his equipment holds up, and he can stay out of trouble, I think he's going to be near the top 10. So at plus 145, I do like that number quite a bit at DraftKings, specifically because I've seen that around even money, even minus money at some other books.
Yeah, agreed. When we talked about top 10s earlier, this is one of the guys that I looked at too. That was a plus money bet that felt worth the investment. So there's a chance I might join you on this one, to be completely honest with you, because yeah, you kind of nailed it. Like, I think Buescher's ranking in the model is boosted up because I have Kansas as a primary comp, and Kansas is a great track for Buescher.
Yeah.
Whereas Brad, is very similar case to Reddick and Bell, actually, where if you aggregate this for just Charlotte data, Brad would actually jump up 3 spots. He would jump up to 7. Buescher would actually fall to 12. So I like that even more in the fact that, like, Brad tends to be better here than at the comps specifically. And not to mention, right, like, these RFK guys, we talked about it how many times this year. Whenever they run well, they all run together. So if we know, like, one of them's fast on Saturday, if we do get to see practice, then I'm going to be looking Brad's way no matter how he looks. Because if just one of these guys looks good, you know the cars are going to be fast. So yeah, I'm probably going to join you, to be completely honest with you. I like this bet a lot.
I don't even know what his top Ford number is, but with, like, how Blaney and Penske is what were you seeing out there for that?
I think it was 4-1, so it wasn't quite what I was looking for.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could find a 7 or an 8 or something like that, because that would get interesting. Like, I do think it's him and Buescher who are probably going to be the top Fords here. Well, Blaney will be around, but I don't know, man. Penske, like, I don't know what it is about this weekend, but they feel like it's just like, hey, bet Penske and Indy and don't bet him here at Charlotte for whatever reason. So
yeah, it's him and Buescher both are 4, and Blaney's plus 175, which I would not take that. So
yeah, that is
the whole market seems kind of dead, to be kind of really honest.
Yep.
So
Chris, we're gonna get to our head-to-head picks, and you and I, we're both gonna slow play this weekend. We'll definitely put those plays into the IBT Discord when we have those, but I do want to update the leaderboard first and foremost with Chris. You are right now still leading the way, first overall with 9, but that lead has certainly shrunk. I think at one point you had a 4-stroke lead. So Elliott closing that gap at number 2, Kyle, myself, Blaze Wolf, and Lars all at 7 as well. So again, you can join the matchup head-to-head contest right now in dashbetweenmedia.com/chat. You can upgrade for $3.99 per month or $36 for the year. That's going to get you access in there, and also get you access to the betting model that Chris puts together each week that we've been talking about all night, and then some of those bonus plays that we don't talk about on the show. So great stuff happening over there. And Chris, I did want to remind everyone before we get any further about our newest partner, FantasySpin. If you guys are looking for a different kind of daily fantasy experience, FantasySpin lets you spin your lineup, make your picks, and compete in tournaments based on real player performance. Like a slot machine, you can hit the jackpot. And this is one of the more addicting games, I will say, Chris, because you can really stack your lineup, right? Because it is combining the skill of drafting in DFS lineups, but it's also kind of gamifying this a little bit like a slot machine. So you can enter contests, spin your DFS lineup for a chance to win big. We're going to play it here in a second, but you can play whether you're in a state that only accepts free games, or you can play for cash as well. FantasySpin, either way, they have you covered. And to check it out, go ahead and go to the link in the episode description. Use that promo code IBT NASCAR. Deposit at least $10, play at least one tournament, and get a $30 in credit in bonus play. Support the program. Check out FantasySpin. Let's make some noise the rest of the racing season. Big proponent of FantasySpin. I've been friends with one of their founders for a long time in the fantasy sports betting space, and they're great people over there. So let's go ahead and get a little spin going on for the Coca-Cola 600.
Spin, pick, win.
All right, Chris, I think it's your first spin on the show, is it not?
It is, but I've been playing the last 2 weeks, so it's like you said, it's really addicting. It's really, really fun.
I said it last week. I'll say it again, like perfect shitter game game for me. Stay off the TikTok, stay off the YouTube. Let's get a little shitter spin going. And we're going to start off here tonight. Oh, my boy Dinger right off the bat, and Hamlin. I think
we got to lock Hamlin for sure.
Yeah. The question is, do we lock Dinger too? Or is that too bullish, you think?
I would say no, personally.
Okay, we'll see if we get him again. We got 4 spins left. We'll keep Dinger off the shelf for now. Oh, Big Brad. I think Big Brad's the lock here. If you lock any of it, unless you want, I don't trust Bubba here. I don't know. We didn't talk about Bubba, but like another guy, good at comps, not good here. I think he's been top 10 at all the comps this season. Charlotte finish is terrible.
Yeah. I agree. I wouldn't go Bubba. I mean, Blaney's intriguing. Like, I know he didn't rank well here, and I know he's kind of iffy, and we just talked about Penske, but again, Blaney's like, he's been fast everywhere, so he's intriguing from the fact that, like, I feel like maybe other people wouldn't look at him based on how they have him ranked here.
Yeah.
So between Blaney and Brad, I mean, up to you. I think we can go with either one.
Yeah, I'll go Brad. We have him higher in the projections, and also like I don't want to also lock Blaney here because like I'm really hoping like give me a Reddick, right? Give me a Byron, give me a Chase Elliott, give me some of these Hendrick and JGR guys in this lineup as well. So let's lock in Brad. We still got 3 spins left for 4 spots. So there it is, baby. Okay, next option here, we got Austin Dillon, William Byron, Bubba Wallace again, Cody Ware. I think it's Byron case closed unless you want to get a little frisky with Cody Ware down there.
Has to be.
All right, we're locking Byron. We got 2 spins left, 3 spots to do it. Let's see what happens here. Angel Boyd, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, and Cody Ware. Wow, talk about a gainer of a lineup, Chris. We got it here, locking in Tyler Reddick. This is where things get tough, though, because we have no more spins after this next one here. We're gonna roll the dice. We could. I think we can lock Larson if we want, but I don't think I. Do you want to lock Larson?
I feel like we're already invested in Byron. Like if Hendrick just still doesn't have it, I'd rather not have 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? So like I'd rather just take let's stick with the Ford camp in case Ford comes with something. You know? Yeah,
and I think too, if you're gonna have 2 HMS guys, you have to have Chase. Like I don't really. Larson's a liability, man. He's especially in this big race. Okay.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad about that.
Ty Gibbs and John Hunter Nemechek, those are the locks we get at the end. I don't hate that. I think I might have wanted to lock Larson, but then we don't know if we get Gibbs. But how do you feel about Ty Gibbs this week? We haven't really talked about him. It kind of burned you last week. You were pretty heavily invested in him. Another guy like good at comps. Is his Charlotte track record, I think, as strong as everyone thinks it is? I'm not sure. At least like average finish is not, but he has had speed and good average running position, Chris.
Yeah, I mean he's not great at Charlotte.
Top 5 in average running position at Charlotte next gen era, which is intriguing to me.
That he kind of has had like bad luck in the past at the intermediates where like he's always run well and just couldn't get to the finish line, and then all of a sudden now he's getting through these races. So yeah, I mean I don't know. I think Reddick or Gibbs right now is a guy that like we kind of have to throw out the pass a little bit just because he's running so much better this year.
Sure.
They've got something going on. So I'm not mad about it, truthfully, because Toyota as a whole tends to run really well at Charlotte. So having 3 guys in the Toyota stable is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm about it, definitely, for sure. So great stuff there. Again, Fantasy Spin, you guys can check them out. Go ahead and click the link in the episode description. Use that promo code IBT NASCAR. It's a big help for us. Continue to partner with them. Let us know that we are the guys who sent you over there. We really appreciate that. You're going to get $30 in bonus play if you deposit at least $10, or just play for free if you're not in one of those states. But definitely seeing how the IBT, NASCAR, and golf teams have been playing. I need this to become legal in Pennsylvania soon. Come on, Fantasy Spin. Come on, Josh Shapiro. Let's get this to, talk about the policies we need done here and lower gas prices. I think we can all agree on lower gas prices action. But aside from lower gas prices, number 2 priority here in the great Commonwealth of PA. We need to get some spin going on here for paid contests. I think we'd be sitting pretty right now. I know Blaze Wolf, he said a couple weeks ago, only reason he was in the green for the week is he won a couple $100 over there on Fantasy Spin. So good stuff happening there at Fantasy Spin.
Spin, pick, win.
All right, Chris, and we're going to get ourselves out of here right now as well. It's been a great program with you. Thank you for everything you do, not only here on the back road, but getting that projection model every week out there for the people. We really appreciate that. Good luck on Baby Watch here. Anything else we should be on the lookout from you for, or anything that final, note or anything you want to put out there for the people before we get out of here?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I'm excited for the Indy 500 show we're about to do, so to make sure you guys tune into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a weekend to enjoy motorsports. Like I said, I mean, we've got all 3 F1, IndyCar, NASCAR. We've got all 3 O'Reilly Truck Cup Series as well. So lots of racing to digest this weekend. And the PGA Tour is on a really bad stop this week, so don't even worry about the PGA Tour. Just focus on NASCAR this weekend.
And if you do want some PGA Tour content, we have you covered over there on the 19th. We'll also here on the IBT main channel. So make sure you check out CJ Byron Nelson Classic, something like that. That's what we're doing.
Yes, Scotty Scheffler's like plus 175. It's ridiculous.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, might be maybe a good way to parlay some of these top 10s out or something, right? So there you go for that. Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. We got a really fun weekend ahead of us. Heading up, like I said earlier, with Elliott and a couple of these other friends and family who some of them are into racing, some of them aren't. So I'm excited to expose some of them to it over the course of the weekend. But if you rode along with us this long, please do us a quick favor, give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe right here to the main IBT channel and that Backroad sub channel. Again, we're going to be streaming exclusively over there in just a couple weeks, so we need you to be subscribed over there as well. Link to that, of course, in the episode description, along with in-betweenmedia.com. Dope written content over there. Add a /chat on that in-betweenmedia.com/chat. That's going to get you into the community for free right now, and where you can upgrade for $3.99 per month to get in the head-to-head contest and get access to all of our betting plays, and of course, access into all of our betting models. For my friend Chris Collichio, I'm Seth Woolcock. Thanks so much for watching. Keep it in between. Until next time.